Welcome to Discover Indie Film, brought to you by Sherman Oaks Film Festival and Filmvasion LA. That's a new thing I'm trying to do, guys. All right. All right. I am here with Ren and Enrique. Hey, you two.
Hello.
Hey.
And now comes your proper introductions. No last names. No. So this is going to be a particularly fun podcast because these two gentlemen both had films at the Sherman Oaks Film Festival in 2024, and you met at the opening night gala. In fact, I walked up and said, hey, while you were meeting, or while you had been talking probably for a couple minutes, maybe even 5 or 10. And so I was there when you met, sort of. And then you went to each other's films, and you hit it off, and you liked each other's work, and then you collaborated. Enrique flies up to Toronto, and y'all... Oh, wait. So first... Ren was there for The Trade. Took home, it was an official selection for short film comedy. Took home the Programmer's Prize for exceptional filmmaking. And Fervor, Enrique's film. Oh, wait, I didn't copy your award. What was your award? Shit. Oh, no, you got the Filmmakers Award for outstanding... Oh, no, that was Rob Roy.
I was going to say Best Latino.
We don't, yeah. I was, when we were setting up, I thought I copied and pasted your award. But the award-winning short film, Fervor, which, don't say fervor, but you can say fervor if you want. Yeah.
Like the play of word is intentional. The title is... I think this is like a really cool podcast because it kind of like, you have to listen to the whole series. You listen to like the podcast from last year, so you can get like the initial story, maybe like the early era of us becoming filmmakers to where we meet, and now we have the resolution. Now we're like, oh, what happens now that you actually collaborated? Well, here we are to tell you.
That's true, and if I'd done, if I'd had more time, but you lovely gentlemen were early, which is excellent. But if I'd had more time, I probably should be able to say which episodes of this podcast you were both on previously, because Ren did it for The Trade and Enrique did it for Fervor. So, but it's very easy to go to discoverindiefilm.com and type in your names. So there you go. If someone wants to hear your previous interviews, they can go there.
They should listen.
They should.
Yeah.
But
very insightful.
But the wonderful thing, and by the way, I will forever kick myself that I didn't remember to say this at the Sherman Oaks Film Festival 2025 gala, is, right, Enrique flew up to Toronto. You guys shot another short, Rob Roy, submitted it, and I loved it. But, I always get this fear, right? Because when you like somebody, sometimes you might be a little biased. And then the rest of the jury loved it too. And I was like, fuck yeah, it's in. and then Rob Roy, the one you two collaborated on, took home the Grand Jury Award for Best Short Film Action Thriller at Sherman Oaks Film Festival 2025, which I assume, I didn't copy this info either, but I assume, were we like the LA premiere or something, maybe? Maybe. We'll pretend it was. Maybe you showed us somewhere else first. But Grand Jury Award for Best Short Film Action Thriller. Enrique won the Filmmakers Award for Outstanding Director of a Short Film Action Thriller. And Ren won the Filmmakers Award for Outstanding Screenplay Short Film Action Thriller. So there you go.
Cool.
Awesome.
That's a lot of hardware.
That's a lot of it's a lot of pretty blue glass.
Yeah.
Because the Sherman Oaks Film Festival trophies are now pretty blue glass with easy to read writing. When it was clear plastic, it was like not as good. It's funny. I had someone say, "I'm so glad you used glass instead of plastic," and I'm like, yeah, that wasn't intentional. But yeah, we're very environmental.
This one looks very nice in my shelf, for sure.
Excellent. All right. So now we're here mostly to talk about Rob Roy, I assume, because both of your life stories and how you became creative artists and professionals in the film business is in your previous... I just decided when one of you was talking, I'm going to look it up on my laptop. the previous podcast. But you want to talk about the process of like meeting each other and thinking about, because it takes collaborating. It's like starting a business together, collaborating on a film.
Sure.
It's like a pretty big freaking commitment.
Yeah, I think a lot of it had to do with location, like geography of the whole thing. So when we first met and saw each other's films, and Enrique asked in the interview with me about, he's like, "Do you have any more scripts?" And I said, "Sure." I shared a bunch with him, and he picked Rob Roy and said, "Hey, do you want to make this?" And Rob Roy was my favorite of the bunch as well. So we kind of had to decide where we wanted to make it first. So we went through the exercise of budgeting how much it would cost to make it here and how much it would cost to make it in Toronto, and netted out on the positive side in Toronto. So access to certain talent that we wanted to include, and all those kinds of things worked out really well for us.
Yeah. It was definitely more logistically savvy to go do it in Toronto than LA, unfortunately. I mean,
that's kind of heartbreaking for us Angelinos, isn't it? That it made more sense for you to fly up to Toronto.
All the resources that we had available in Toronto was it was greater and more economical for us to do the film there. So it was a really striking contrast. And I have to say, me personally, most of my shorts have been shot in LA. I only had one that I did in Guatemala because it's a story that I wanted to tell, very close and dear to me, that it was a very Guatemalan movie that it needed to be shot there. But everything else always be in LA. So this is the first time that I I guess it just makes more sense to shoot it outside.
Yeah, even if you're not collaborating with Ren, it's an option, huh? Because you can still crash on it at his house.
Yeah, definitely.
It definitely helps.
By the way, I did my due diligence. All right, so Discover Indie Film episode number 527 on April 30th of 2025 was Enrique Mendoza. And just 3 months later, April 14th, 2025, episode 559 was Ren Olivieri. So there you go.
There you go. You get the full
that's
story.
like a year ago tomorrow.
Wow.
Exactly 1 year, yeah. Heck, and now I'll even, while you're talking, I'll figure out which number this is, but you're getting pretty close to number 700. Actually, you might be 703.
Cool.
Oh.
What a weird guess. All right, so.
Fun facts.
By the way, how many, when you said you gave him a bunch, did you give him 3 scripts? Did you give him 5?
I think 4, actually.
4?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was 4.
There was 4 scripts that he gave me.
And him choosing Rob Roy, okay, he passed the test. He chose the best one.
Yeah, kind of. I also felt like it was more up his alley, really. The other 2 of them were more straight comedy. One of them was a husband-wife stoner comedy, which I wrote one day. I thought it was funny. But Rob Roy definitely had some sort of dramatic tension, and I felt like Favor was that's part of what when I saw Favor, I was like, oh, he'd probably really like Rob Roy. And I would add a lot to it. So that's why I think it was serendipitous that it kind of worked out that way.
I kind of like if you guys keep saying "pervor" during the entire podcast. I just love the way you guys say it.
Do you love the way we almost say it right?
I love it.
Well, you trill your R's better than we do.
Well, the Latino, it comes out.
Yeah. Fervor.
Fervor.
I never trill the second one. That's my problem, I think. Fervor.
There you go. You might hurt yourself if you.
But even from my perspective, also when I was reading the script that Ren sent me, I think Rob Roy was the one that if you see the film, you can see is the most challenging one, because we have this fluctuation of genres that goes through the film, and then you have these very three-dimensional characters in the film. So to me it was oh, now we have kind of an ensemble here. It's not just only 2 characters. Now we can play with the space, and it feels to me it was a nice progression in my creative process to be able to expand to something bigger. So that's what drove me to that script.
And was it the most cinematic? Because it's a fairly cinematic film for a short, right? Because the crime genre is well known, but you work comedy into it and relationships. Did it feel the most cinematic on the page, or were they all kind of cinematic?
No, actually, yeah, this one felt the more cinematic. There was a couple there that the one that you were saying, the couple that they're stoners, that felt more like a sketch comedy. So it could have been a nice little vignette. This is the one where to me it felt like you have a full story, and it kind of goes with the style of films that I like to make, and I think we talked about this last time, where we put you in a moment in time where I don't have to tell you where we come from or where we're going, but you still get it. You still know like, oh, what happened before. You can imagine it, and you kind of figure out like, oh, the future for these people is gonna be something, but you already know where they're going without me having to wrap up the whole thing. So it really felt like something that it like spoke to me in that sense.
And then as you're doing pre-production, so to speak, because I mean, obviously you no rewrites needed.
We spent an afternoon on a Zoom call one day, and he there was some lines where he's like, I don't like it, and I'm like, I don't care, and there were others where he's like,
I'm the producer.
Yeah, he's like, this isn't necessary, and then I was like, okay. So it was like a legit collaboration where we was a little bit of give and take for sure. As a writer, you never know if people know where you're coming from when you put words, and I try to be really intentional and economical with language as much as I can, and I think it worked out well for the first draft of the script, I call it, and when we collaborated, it got a little bit tighter, and then it helped me he's explaining his logic and I'm explaining mine, and then we come to an agreement. Get your phone out of here.
That's my fault too. That's my fault too, because I put mine in Do Not Disturb, and I should have said, I'm putting my phone in Do Not Disturb.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Anyway,
before something happens.
You could be next.
Yeah. But yeah, so it worked out really well, and it's interesting too, because you got two guys who come from completely different kind of backgrounds, both like historically in the long run and in the short term in our careers, and we kind of met in this moment at the festival, and I think we were both just kind of really open to a new experience. And for me, I was really excited about working with someone who was embedded in this city and climate and culture and work experience. So I was going to learn from that, and I hope that I was able to bring some of my experience to the project too, and make it fruitful. And I honestly think it went it went well. So so much so that we were collaborating on another feature project that we're working on now. So I think if you're open to experience things and you're not, and your agenda can move, I think it's something.
I think personally, I done projects. I actually co-directed and co-wrote one in the past where I thought that we have like a good chemistry as co-directors because I worked with these guys so many times, and it turns out that like once you're on set and you have certain ideas in your head and somebody else doesn't have the same idea, there's you can either have a conversation or it can be a discussion, or like you end up compromising probably in the wrong thing because you're not in the same page. And I think like from the moment we start doing like the little Zoom meeting to do the rewrites, when I said like I don't like this thing, and he's like I don't care. He didn't just say I don't care. He was like, no, I wrote it this way because blah blah blah. And once he explains that to me, it's like, oh, now I see where you were like going with this. So it kind of like opens up also for me to be like, oh, I see like what the story really means. And it's not just like, because even like when I write my own stuff, I'm very biased, thinking like, oh, people probably gonna get it because I get it, and then sometimes it's not the case. So in this, like I can see like that collaboration working in our favor, because now I can go on set thinking like, oh yeah, I remember like this. The idea here is to go in this direction with this character. We don't want to show this much of this character. We want to have like you start like tailoring it a little bit better. So I definitely learned a lot like on this shoot. Like, and also like from my side and coming to Toronto to shoot this, I felt like the pressure of the amount of time that we have to do the pre-production before the shoot, and the little amount of time that we have to actually shoot the short. Yeah. And in my head, on the ways I've done like other short films before, you always like want more time to do stuff, and like you're trying to say like, oh, okay, we have X amount of pages, it's gonna take me this amount of days, and if I only have a weekend to shoot this, then maybe we should cut this scene and we should like start like making everything more smaller. And I was very surprised about how everything was so efficiently. Everything just run very smoothly, and from the moment we get there, everything was like, okay, now we have already scheduled. We're gonna do the location scout. We're gonna talk about this with the DP. We're gonna have our meeting. We're gonna start doing all the shot lists. We like everything started just like falling into place. That by the time we get there for the first day of shooting, everything was set up. And then we moved so fast during the first day that I
That's
was
because
like,
his team has been together a while, right?
Well, yeah, like
you
the
have
guys-
a well-oiled machine up there.
Those cats that we worked with, like Alistair and Andrew and Lisa too, for hair and makeup, like they're pros, and they, you give them the opportunity, you ask them. There's no harm in asking the people that you like working with if they're willing to help you out, donate some of their time, some of their gear, whatever. Make deals, with them for at their time and energy, and they show up, and they're like, I call Andrew my linchpin because he's our DP, and because he's like, if he's in, I'm in. Like, he's great. So
yeah, the whole crew was fantastic,
Yeah.
and it's something that we're like, it's almost like they disappear, and then you only have the actors in front of you, because I'm like, there's been times where we're like, okay, we're done with this take, we're gonna move to the next setup, and then as a director, like, well, let me go talk to one of the actors, so like kill some time while the whole team starts setting up for the next stuff. And then suddenly we're like, oh, they're already ready? Okay, like, hey, come look at this. And we're like, what? Is that we already okay? Let's keep shooting. Like, just like have like conversations as we go. So like, to me, I actually, like first days are usually the hardest because everybody's like trying to get into gears. Here, everybody was already set up. Everything was ready to go. Everybody was so prepared. Like, I don't remember like having to ask anybody like, hey, can you go check on this? Like, everything was already checked. Everything. It just, to me, was surprisingly refreshing.
yeah,
It was
a great bunch
great,
of great
yeah.
bunch of people.
And you
Like,
can
well,
tell.
I knew and
And
Ren knew, but yeah, for you, it was almost like a gamble in a way
Yeah.
to fly up there and like not having chosen the crew and stuff.
Yeah.
But
And then
but not only did you work with someone based on the quality of the script, but now you also found out, wow, they've got a really great production team.
Yeah, and then to me, I love the fact that we have these people not only show up, but they actually brought everything with love. They actually like they put their effort. They say like, let me figure out this for you. Let me try to do this. Like, nobody was just phoning it. It's like, oh, I'm doing a favor for you, so like, oh, I don't have time, and I kind of like debate you and stuff. No, it was just like, yeah, let me try to figure this out. Everything moved in a way that I like everybody was passionate about the project, and I think you can see that on screen. I think that's like what.
Well, the
makes it
quality,
what it
right?
is.
I mean, you can. It's made with quality, and
Yeah.
and I'm gonna refer to the Sherman Oaks Film Festival motto on the T-shirt, which is the festival that gives a shit. And you had a crew. I mean, if your crew gives a shit,
Yep.
if the people you're collaborating with give a shit, the film just comes out better. I mean, it's just,
100%.
there's nothing else to say, right? Because you're talking about when people show up, and often on an indie film they are doing a favor and they are allowed to be a little half-assed.
Yeah.
And that just brings down the quality because you can't have anyone be half-assed.
Especially for a film like this, because it's a little bit complex. Even though everything happens in one location, there's a lot of moving pieces, and there's a lot. It's very logistical. Like, we have stunts, and the fact that everybody just like was able to just come in and like give the time to we even do rehearsals for the stunts. Like, that to me that was a luxury.
I assume you'd
that I
have
never-
to,
Yeah.
even though when one of the producers is also the one getting beat up,
Getting his
you
ass
don't have the
kicked.
same
Yeah.
legal problems.
Yeah, exactly. It was funny when we were doing the actual shoot. I think it was the fourth time I got dragged over the bar. Enrique looked at me and he said, "Do you have one more in you?" And I was like, "Oh my god!" Like,
It was the third one. It was the third one.
and I said yes, and then we did it, and it was great. It was a great day, great team. I think part of the reason why we were so efficient is because we just wanted to get out of that location because it was a legitimate dive bar. When you write a script that says "open in a dive bar" and you find one of the most awful.
Which also like
suitable
I
locations.
Oh, was it
Oh
like in
my
a sketchy
gosh.
part of town?
It was
sketchy.
yeah. Like, there's not a ton of sketchy parts of town in downtown Toronto, but this is this little stretch of Queen West near Roncesvalles for our listeners out there there were like bullet holes in the outside of the building. There were when we showed up for the tech scout. the owner of the building was inside and not answering the door because she was hungover from her birthday party the night before. And when we opened the door, her dog had taken a shit right inside the doorway. So we were like, "Where are we?" Like
this is me landing in Toronto. Like, okay, let's go do the location scout right now before we go to lunch. It was in the morning. We showed up to the place, and the first thing, an open door, hangover lady, poop in the floor, bullet holes, and I was like, great.
Found a crack pipe in the corner.
It's perfect. It's perfect because that is exactly what you wrote. You wrote a bar like that.
Yeah. And when we found it, and ironically, when we went to do the location scout, I was like, I don't know if I could spend 2 days, and it smells so weird in here. Like.
You get used to it.
You get used to it.
You become half an hour, your nose blind.
Yeah, exactly.
But that first half hour. Oh man, you're like, did we put in our budget to shampoo the carpets?
We got blood all over the pool table, and we couldn't get it out, and so we just kind of made the whole thing uniform with the blood, and nobody noticed. So
I was going to say, you sure you want, as if they'll ever hear this podcast.
I don't think
you don't have to worry. They're not big indie film followers.
Yeah, for sure.
But it was a very original place. I remember the first day we're in the middle of the shoot. We blocked the entrance, like it's all covered because it's supposed to happen all at night, and we're shooting during the day, so everything outside is covered in the entrance of the bar, and yet people would just walk in at 10 a.m. and be like, "Oh, the bar is not open." And like you can see, like this place has those regulars that just want to be there drinking.
Oh, the bar flies.
Yeah.
Drinking before lunch.
Yep, exactly.
Dang.
But
drinking for lunch, I think.
Right.
But it's funny because like we had one person walked in as Ren was doing the stunt and he getting tossed into the pool table, and then somebody walks in and like, you see the camera crew, you see this guy with blood. Oh no, did you walk outside with
I went
blood?
outside. There was so the streetcar goes by, and there's some people with mental health issues in the neighborhood, and there was this person yelling like streetcar, streetcar, streetcar over and over and over again. So I finally was like, I got to get rid of this guy. So I open the door. I've got blood all over my shirt, and I go, buddy, and it's a dad and his little kid, just like playing and dancing in the street, like on the sidewalk. Streetcar, streetcar, streetcar. I was like, oh, sorry, sir, pardon, we're shooting something in here. Do you mind? Sorry. He's like, oh, sorry about that. My mistake.
You didn't shout, get your.
Yeah, I didn't. I felt so bad, and the kid's like, oh my god, looking up this guy covered in blood. It was fun.
Good stuff.
Very good stuff. And you shot there.
2
weekend?
Days. 2
days.
I can't remember. It was.
We were there for, I don't know if it was. I don't know. I think we shot during the week. I think it was
you're right.
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
We shot there.
When allegedly a bar would be pretty close to not doing any business anyway,
Exactly.
but obviously they had some regulars.
They
might have spent $10, but I assume you probably gave them a little so you.
Yeah, I mean, we did what we do. We took care of everybody and make sure that it was a fair shake. So
that's probably the best Tuesday and Wednesday they've ever had.
Yeah, totally.
During those hours.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, like the woman who owns the place was asking us to come back. She was like, love next time you shoot, are you going to make the whole thing? Are you going to make the whole thing? She kept asking me, and she was like, wanted to introduce me to some people that she knew, and then they make movies. They want to make movies. I'm like, okay. So
she's a lovely lady.
She was great. She was kind, and she was warm and welcoming. She got a little upset with us because we were getting close to our time, and somebody closed one of the doors they weren't supposed to close because there was noise coming in from outside, and it locked her out at one point. So she got locked in the back alley, she had to go all the way around the building and to come back in. So anyway, good times.
I wish I would have a extra half a day maybe just to get more stuff, but I think like with what we have, we were able to like do a very compelling film.
For sure. And I'm going to bring up casting because also was Ren did you both cast people like together on Zoom?
We did some.
Did you do the first round of Toronto folks? Once you knew you were shooting Toronto, obviously you knew you were.
We
gonna
did
use
all
local
Toronto
talent.
folks, and we did a couple around. So we basically sent out some messages to some
It's
pals.
an excellent cast. I guess I should mention it's
We had a
like
hiccup though.
memorably good cast.
For a moment, I was just gonna be out of the project. That would be
Yeah.
exiled.
I'm not sure how much of that we'll talk about, but we did have an issue with him being Guatemalan and us not being able to use ACTRA talent, and which is our union up in Canada. And,
certain union rules.
yeah,
what key heads of departments have to be Canadian to get certain support.
And so we pivoted away from some of that, and I think it worked out really well. I asked for favors from a few close friends, and I asked for references for other people, and then we asked people to lay down self-tapes or audition with. We did callbacks where people would actually come and audition on Zoom with us. We did a table read on Zoom. And I think that really helped us a lot, really, was getting to know the people that we, we're going to be working with. Same as anyone else making any kind of film, really. I know that when I made the trade, I'd never met one of the characters, but I trusted the other characters so much that I was, all right, let's do it. Like, let's roll the dice. He had a good resume too. So
I assume it's the other husband.
Yeah, Gary. Yeah, Gary.
Because I'm sure you knew the person who played your wife.
The woman that played my wife. I'd worked with her before.
The woman who traded you.
Yeah. But for this, it was really helpful to use the technology that we had available to us to make to create relationships before we got to shoot day. And I think a big part of we had production meetings on Zooms and international production meetings on Zooms. And people met each other, and people cared about each other when they arrived on set. So we all were pulling in the same direction. I think it really helped the
We
production.
also had like a one table read before the shoot.
That's
where
right.
We had the entire cast and crew, like everybody was around this table, and then we did a quick table read so everybody's familiar with like what the scenes were, what the gags that we needed, like when we needed to bring the blood, where it's gonna be the stunt happening, so we almost set up we had like an Airbnb close by. We set up the Airbnb to replicate a little bit of the bar, so we know who's sitting where and how, and the layout.
You
of
could
the
block
place.
it out.
Yeah, so it was easy for everybody to say like, oh, we're here now. Oh, we're gonna see this. So like everybody get familiarized with the environment before we went into the actual bar. So that helped a lot.
And using that location is we could walk to our filming location. It was this really nice Airbnb like overlooking the lake in Toronto, and you walk a block north and you're in the sketchy part. And you walk another block further north and you're in another nice neighborhood. So
there's nothing
wild.
smarter though than doing the table read.
Oh, yeah.
It just brings so much out. And
Yeah.
allows you to also to consider some last minute tweaks if you need it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We didn't need any.
Of course not.
That was perfect.
Here's a funny and a leading question that of course I'm just pushing you towards an answer, Ren. But did people was it almost, I don't know, I'm using the word glamorous, but was it a little glamorous to bring in a director, a Guatemalan director from the Los Angeles area? Like, were people like, oh man, he must be bringing in a real, you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean,
I bet people were like, this Enrique Mendoza must really kick ass. You know what I mean?
It was pretty cool. So I told a few people that it was happening that weren't involved in the production, and they were like, "Wait a minute, you met him in LA, and now he's coming here?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's pretty cool." And so, yeah, it felt good.
That's like the real movie business, man.
Yeah, it felt
No pressure. Now you have to represent.
That's true. That's true. But it also bought you goodwill, I bet.
I think so. Yeah, I think like everybody, when I feel like being able to have these conversations, because I actually met Andrew, our DP, because he flew to LA because I had another project, and I had a chance to like grab a beer with him and have a conversation about the film, and being able to connect with him also on a personal level and like share stories we talk about the film for a little bit, how he knows this guy. Kind of like give us like that confidence, like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing. I see what you want to get out of this film. Like, let's do it together. Like we're good. And I kind of have those conversations a little bit around with the rest of the crew when I start like meeting them and like, hey, what do you think about this? Hey, what do you like? So it really helped me understand like what they're doing, and then for them to see like what kind of film I wanted to make. Because even when you read the script, I don't know, maybe it's just me. When I read the script, to me it was like 3 different movies in one. I don't know if a lot of people interpret it that way.
Like based upon plot twists, basically?
Yeah, because when you start watching the film, and this is the thing that I always say, when you start watching the film, it feels a little bit more of a rom-com, like a boy meets girl kind of moment in a bar, because they walked in and they have like this flirty moment. And it's kind of funny because the moment Ren enters, he becomes like kind of like the physical jokes. But
because of the way I walk,
then
I guess.
we turn the film and it becomes like this crime drama, which is kind of like the core of it. And then by the time we go to the last twist, it becomes just like a Western stand-up. So it kind of like switches a little bit. And with the tone shift, I wanted everybody to be aware that we're doing it intentionally and not feel like, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's doing and the actors are not acting the same way. But I wanted to like make sure that everybody knows like we're kind of like going through different genres in this film. And I think that's kind of like the beauty of it, that we can play with all that.
And that's one of the great things about the script is that characters do turn on a dime for a quality reason, right?
Yeah.
Like, and so that must have been, I'm looking at the name, but Salma Khalidi, like such a memorable performance. And she literally like, her role is constantly changing.
Yeah. I loved writing that role because I wanted everybody to think that she was a kind of a victim of circumstance to some degree, but the reality is she's got a really powerful leading role. She plays a character. I don't want to give anything away in case somebody wants to watch it. But
and actually, you know what I failed to do, although I'm interrupting your answer, is I assume you still got the film on the festival circuit, and so it's not available online for people to watch yet.
Not yet.
So we will avoid the spoilers.
Yeah.
Just know that there are legit plot twists that fucking work. and as someone, I always say this, as someone who sees like 1,500 plus indie films a year, a lot of people have plot twists, and you're like, well, it's got to make sense. Sorry.
Yeah.
and the ones in Rob Roy are just like, it all works. It works on repeated viewings.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was like the challenge, that is like where we wanted to have those conversations with everybody, so everybody's on the same page, knowing that we're gonna be twisting a lot of this stuff. So it just made everything run way more smoothly for us.
For sure. And then involved with each other throughout post as well, like with the remote, with the miracle of video chat.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, as I tried, the moment I stepped on set, I was the actor, and so I would have side conversations with Enrique, but it was his baby from that point on, it felt like to me. And I was happy to let go.
Right, because you like to write something and act in it and then hand it off. In a way.
And I don't
in a
always
way you did that with the trade.
The trade too, yeah. Like I was more involved in the trade and from post perspective, but with this example, with Rob Roy rather, I just felt like I needed to let Enrique. Enrique was working with a great team of post people here in LA, so I thought it was important to like just give him some space, like, and as a writer, you're kind of always a bit of a control freak. But
I was gonna say, which is refreshing, because I work with other writers that they always want to have their input, and they're like, oh, but at this line this, but this and that, and sometimes like even I personally, I think I mentioned this before, like I don't like editing my own projects because I want a fresh pair of eyes come in and see something that maybe I didn't see, or change the story a little bit for the better. So I like having those conversations also with the editor. And sometimes, like you can be too attached to a project that like you don't want to let it go. And sometimes like be able to hand it off to somebody else. It's for the better. So like I'm not saying that I was worried at the beginning, but I was a little bit like, I wonder how involved he wants to be in both. Because also, like, we have the composer, and the conversations with the composer are like, well, I'm thinking about this for the film. I want the music to sound this way. I want to have this like little like, very jazzy vibe that can go from, we have 3 different genres of filmmaking. I want something that feels like it goes for every single stage, but also feel like it's part of the same film. So like the conversations, they were like, well, I'm not gonna be able to like have all these conversations and bring Ren to all of them to be like, to give me your input on like what the music's gonna go. So I'm just gonna go with like what I think is the best for the film. Cause like what I was thinking, that I think the music should flow this way.
Yeah, and it worked. And I, for me to let go is not easy, but he and I had enough of a rapport at this time that if I really wanted to say something, I could. And I did, and there were instances where I had questions, and I was like, "Can we try this or can we try that?" And he'd oblige, and I think it ended up in a great place. And so you can't really, question yourself after the fact. But
yeah, and it's not your first rodeo, right? Like you get to it, you get less precious you realize with experience. I almost said with age.
Yeah.
But with experience, right? Because you can have a lot of experience when you're young, but you come to understand that being precious about something, you should pick and choose when to be that way, because
100%.
Sometimes you have a reason, but a lot of times you'll get more from collaboration and more from opening your mind ideas.
And if someone else is seeing something, then it's I think you're crazy to ignore the conversation. Like if someone sees something in, whether it's the way it's written, the way it's been shot, and it doesn't necessarily match your intentions or whatever, you have to listen so that you understand. Maybe a little ludicrous and you don't want to do it, but I think you owe it to yourself and to the project to listen to the people that you've surrounded yourself with, so that you are really being a good teammate. And I think we did that. I think throughout, like when there was the rewrites or whether it's questions in post, we owed that to each other, and I think it worked well.
There's a good example that I can remember. At the beginning, when we were ready to shoot, there was one scene that I wanted to cut out for time, the kitchen scene, because in my head it was like, well, I can actually play that off screen, and I can just make it more about like the people at the bar. And Ren was like, okay, well, if that's what you think, that's better for the blah, blah. He was okay with it. But then when we start shooting, and then the kitchen scene came, we started talking about it, they were like, no, you know what? Yeah, maybe let's just shoot it. We have the time, we have the capability, everything is set up for it. Let's just get it in the can, and then maybe you can see in post if it works better with it or without it, and it ended up being part of the film.
You can't regret trying something, I don't think,
Yeah, and from an audience point of view, I think the kitchen scene was important, really, just to get out of that room and give people a fresh look for a minute, right? Because then when you go back into the dark bar, it's always great to break it up a little.
Yeah.
And that was like, the kitchen has a completely different look.
Yeah. Also awful, but it was
equally terrible.
Accurate. I think the word you wanted was accurate.
Yeah. I won't mention I'm going to mention the sink full of chicken that we discovered when we arrived at the location scout the first time.
Sketchy.
I was like, what the heck?
Nothing like the smell of rotten chicken.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Well, I also want to bring up, correct me if I'm wrong, but were you thinking of not acting in it at first, and then you agreed to act in it after the fact?
Yeah, Enrique begged me. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. He didn't beg me. I'm trying to not be that guy. I don't want to write. I don't want to be in everything I write. I don't necessarily want to direct either. I do kind of like the craft of writing and that feeling that I get when other people want to collaborate on a project that I've created. So for me, I liked the idea of being. I felt like if we're going to do the stunts, it's the same. I felt like I was the one who could handle it the best. and not complain about it, because it was a rough.
Right. In other words, you were thinking to yourself, what happens if I cast someone?
I don't want to hurt anyone
and I
else.
put them through a lot of shit, and it could get complicated.
Yeah, and I just didn't want anyone to get hurt, and I didn't want anyone to feel like they had to say yes because they were in that position, and I felt like it wasn't. It's such a small cast. Every role is important, but I felt like I could do this, and I don't think it'll hurt the film. So
faces have been pulled, but no, I mean honestly, like so many. It's all great performances, but your performance is great in it, and truthfully, a line you deliver is the one that I remember best. 6 months to a year later, because I think I might have seen it the first time, probably in the fall of last year. But it's when you just turn to the guy and go, you could have, this is not a spoiler, right? But like, you could have told me about Rob Roy. Like, you told me what Rob Roy means, right? Like the title Rob Roy has multiple meanings.
Yeah.
And when your character turns and says that, that's the line that sticks in my head. Like it's almost like when the whatever, it's maybe because it's the title. But
I think it was perfect. Not to praise this guy here,
but you can't.
But
he does not like to give me any props.
But I think it was great.
He flew to Toronto for
I know. So I'll take the unsaid.
He kind of brought the right elements to the film, because he does that comedic breaks that we need in tension moments, right? Like he's the one that like every time that the conversation gets very tense with the mob guys, he breaks it up. Sometimes with something funny like. What was the line that you said? Like something like, who orders Rob Roy's?
What's with all the fucking Rob Roy?
Yeah. Even with that kind of lines, like the interaction when he interrupts the couple at the beginning, and even the way the film ends, I think like he brings that like comedic relief to like these tense moments. And also he can take a beating, so it was perfect. It was great because like it's honestly. If we're trying to cast somebody else for that role, I think it would have been a little bit more of a challenge to have somebody go through the whole... Because even though we had a stunt coordinator and they kind of rehearsed a little bit, and then the guy was trying to teach Ren, like, hey, you have to go it this way. There was a couple of times in the rehearsal where it didn't feel real. Because part of the movement is like you have to go down with me and then go up to jump off the bar, and then we're gonna try to raise you, and like there was all these elements that I think at one point Ren was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it for real. And he just like threw off the bar, and it hurt, but it looked great on camera.
So you sacrificed for the art. There were some pads down there, but it wasn't enough.
Well, we had like Enrique was saying, we built this like platform to make it easier because it was in my brain, the bar wasn't as high when we.
Yeah, it's not a kitchen counter height. Yeah. It's like bars are,
and it was tiered. So there was a part that you couldn't see from the outside of the bar, but then you could see.
Their workspace.
So every time, without fail, I would just clang on both those things, and then of course the pool table.
So it was bam, bam, down.
And then hit the pool table on. Like I'm not a small guy, and I'm flying through the air.
Which also the guy who plays,
who's huge.
That guy,
the muscle.
Guy was
he's already big, and he just lifts Ren with no effort. He's just like, come in, and whoa, and you see it, and you're like, wow, this guy. And I feel bad for him because I wanted to make him feel even bigger. The guy is already a big guy, and then I wanted to make it even bigger. So we got this puffy jacket, huge puffy jacket.
It is a big jacket.
Yeah, it's a big jacket.
And then he put it on, and
like
he's
black
the entire
leather,
time. The entire time he's wearing that, and then we can see that this guy just sweating.
He's
sweating.
so hot.
It's warm in there, and this guy's wearing this jacket, and he's just sweating the entire time. Like,
that's good for the character too, though, for him to be. If it played that he was a little sweaty and greasy, he was supposed to be not too.
So every time we cut away from him, or like he has a break, he's like, "Go take this off." Like you can see his armpits is like all wet.
Poor guy. He did great.
But he did great.
He was great.
And you said to him, "Don't worry, everyone watching this will think you smell bad," and that's what we're going after.
That's our goal. Yeah.
But it's really cool because he was part of the stunt team. And even though he doesn't really have that many lines or
None.
lines at all, he did a lot with expressions, and he sold that character perfectly. Like I'm so happy that we had him because he was like a great muscle.
It was no dialogue.
He had not.
That's
he didn't
so
have that.
interesting
Yeah.
because he said a lot
Yeah.
with his face
Yeah.
and his presence. That's actually probably a really fun character, right? Because for someone to play, because like it goes back to like whatever Charlie Chaplin,
Yep.
Buster Keaton kind of shit, where you're like getting it done without words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I-
And
I
a lot of the acting for him was like the way he looks at things, the way he reacts to things. Like he's just like there's that one moment that you can see like in his face that he's a killer, and it's just perfect.
Yeah. He did really well.
Yeah. And you're just a lowly bartender, maybe.
What do you mean?
You know, your character is just working behind a bar. You
Just
know,
working behind. I grew up behind a bar, so
you can't take on a dude that big.
No. I mean, like, there's backstories for everybody that
There is.
obviously
there's these twists I can't mention.
Yeah.
I know.
So it was
hard.
fun. It was a fun.
Turns out you're
project.
from outer space.
Yeah.
And you have superhuman strength. And,
Yeah.
and you kick his ass with your one pinky
I
nail.
lasered him with my laser eyes.
That's a sequel.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's great. It was great. And then our young Kevin was kind of first role for him. Met him through Alistair, who was our producer, one of our Toronto producer, and it was really just cool to just see people. I know a guy. I can bring in this guy. I can bring in that guy, and we just assembled this great team. And like Enrique said, everybody just wanted to be there, and we all had the same goal. So pretty cool. So shout out to all of them.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, that's something that an acting friend said to me, Christ, back in the 90s, 30 years ago. Is like, he just said, like, actors want to act. Like, if you've got something, if you're making something good, even if it's indie, even if it's, there's actually a dude on a soap opera, and he was happy to do indie films. Well, because there's better material than a fucking soap opera. But he was on General Hospital, but he was happy to do indie films.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because actors want to act, and they want to act in something good, in
Yeah.
something interesting.
Yeah.
And that's what you were both offering.
Yeah, it was cool. And then Sean, who essentially was the lead, such a strong performer, and I think made everybody in the room better with just by being there, and his professionalism and his willingness to listen and take direction and be on. Like when it was time to go, he actually. It was funny that at one point I was delivering lines to him off camera as my character, and he was so compelling that I forgot my line. And he and I have got a lot of history together. He barked something at me like "wake up" or something like that. I was like, "Fuck, sorry, man." He's that good. So
He like in the film, he's very intimidating, but then stop the camera and start cracking jokes.
Yeah.
It's so amazing human being. It's really lovely.
I mean, that's another. I maybe say it too often on this podcast, but I tell especially the young filmmakers, I'm like, if you write roles for people over 60 in your films, that's going to be one of the best performances you ever see, because actors with some mileage are not to be avoided. They just bring so much to the table.
Yeah, he's a pro.
The depth of the performance out of that. Well, I'm almost 60, so maybe I should shut up.
Yeah,
but you know what I mean?
He's not 60 yet either. He looks like he might be. But he's he'd kill me if I let him.
Yeah, but writing characters that are not whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally, man.
Yeah. There's experienced actors. Why not use these folks?
Yeah, for sure. If they're willing to, be a part of the project, then take advantage for sure. Only makes your work better.
I agree.
Absolutely. All right, so now that you've got it, and by the way, my notes do claim, or at least the Sherman Oaks Film Festival website does say it was the Los Angeles premiere.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to believe that's true.
Cool.
Yes.
We premiered it.
Yeah.
Maybe even West Coast premiere. I'll get really egotistical. but have you been? I haven't really seen since December. So how's it been since? Have you had a Toronto Festival?
We did a
Have you
Toronto.
been able to meet
Yeah.
like somewhere in the Midwest or East Coast?
We've had a few other festivals that we've been at. Like we haven't had the opportunity to go to all of them, unfortunately, just other responsibilities, etc. But Toronto, we did show in Toronto at the Toronto Independent Film Festival, which happens a week after TIFF. And then
Is that baby TIFF?
Baby TIFF.
Maybe.
Yeah, so that was cool, and got a bunch of people out to see it, like the local team. And then when we came to Sherman Oaks, we had the local team from here come out to see it. So it was really cool
Everybody loved it.
for all of us to have that chance. To, I get a chance to meet the post team face to face until I came out for Sherman Oaks. So that was cool, and hanging out with some of the cats and. Yeah. Having some drinks and having some fun and chatting about the project.
Having some drinks before and after the screening?
Yeah.
During.
I should mention that if anyone wants to go to the Sherman Oaks Film Festival website and go to the 2025 festival link for the video showcase, it's pretty funny Q&A because I believe hard liquor was consumed before the screening.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's a quality Q&A.
It was super funny because when we were going in for the screening, I had to use the men's room. So we got separated. And so I didn't know where anybody was. So I went in, the theater was packed, which was really cool to see. And in standing room, so there was a bunch of people hanging around at the back as well. And I saw a seat and I didn't know the person. So I went and just sat down. And I'd met him at the opening night gala. So he's like, "Oh, hey, man, is your film coming?" I said, "Yeah, that's cool." And we were like, "All right." And then it showed. And, when it was over, he just put his hand up, gave me like a little dap. And I think that was an approval. But it was cool for me. And it's cool for any of us who do these things, whether it be the DP, the director, the writer, actor, whatever, to sit in a theater full of people that don't know you, and to listen to their genuine reactions to your work. And when they're positive like they were that day, it's so rewarding, man.
I agree. It was one of my favorite showings.
Yeah.
And it's a really solid block, too, as I recall.
Block.
I mean, all our blocks are good because we only show good films because we have a jury that, whatever, that's our ethos. We'll show the best films possible, even if they're from far away and no one will support them. But we gotta show great films. But yeah, I think a film like Rob Roy, was well served by an audience having a good time.
100%.
When it began.
Yeah. And then the panel, I think you called him up, or whomever what do you call them?
The moderator.
Moderator. Yeah.
The moderator.
Called him up and he's like, "Where's Ren?" I'm over here. So I jumped up and then it was super fun to just sort of hang out and chat and have the audience listen and react. And
I think it was a very funny Q&A.
It was very funny. Well, but I mean, Ren's the one with the comedy experience. Yeah. But Enrique, you were killing it. You were killing it with the jokes and making fun of your friend whose film played before it, I believe.
I don't remember what I said.
His was before yours, right? You
Danny's?
guys had a
the
cleanup.
same block,
Yeah.
But I don't remember what I said. I
don't remember
I have to watch this clip.
Yeah, you'll have to watch it. That's true, because I can't remember. But it was funny, and I was like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of unusual. It's a really nice situation for good friends to be in the same block. Cause
it's also the first time that I see his movie as well in a big screen. Because I helped him with the film as well. I was on set the entire time. I read the script. I gave him my notes. Even for Rob Roy, I show him the script, and I bounce some ideas with him about what I was gonna talk with Ren. I remember when we had that conversation, and even when the film was edited, I sent it to him and said "Hey, what are your thoughts? Tell me." So he's a person that I always collaborate with, and obviously being able to see his film next to mine, it was a great moment for me. So it was I had to make fun of him.
Yeah, totally, man. That's wicked.
You gotta make, but I know it's a thing. Yeah. When you make fun of somebody, it means you like them, right?
Yeah, totally.
I don't know. That hasn't gone away yet.
Nope.
I don't think as long as everyone's on the same page. It's funny. Now I'm tempted to look up like your whole block, which is silly, but
The films on that block?
yeah, because
I remember there was one with the girl, the black girl doing the narration about sex.
Oh yeah,
She was-
that's right. She was from Dallas, I think, or
yeah,
I
it's
can't
from
remember.
somewhere in the south. And then there was like the film with the little
oh,
girl.
His Forbidden Sword, was it that one?
No.
With the things that would pop out of the ceiling,
the
and
dildos,
that
yeah.
would drop out of the.
Oh, yes, from yes.
I forgot the name of it.
Yeah, me too.
But that's one of
It was
that
a
I
really,
remember
actually,
lot.
really clever critique of dating apps
Yes.
and how they're negative.
Yeah. So that's one that I remember the most because I really loved that one. I thought it was really funny. I don't remember what other film was in our block.
Well, I'm about to have it, but I'm editing what I have to say because if I could only tell you guys.
You can tell us and edit it.
I will. I'll tell you. I'll just tell you after we go. But after we're done recording. But okay. I just distracted myself by being a goofball. All right. So besides those screenings,
what else?
because besides the bar owner wanting you to shoot the whole film, like I guess did the bar owner assume this was like a piece of a bigger film?
I don't really know.
But you mentioned another project, yeah?
Yeah, so when we were here, when I came here to do Sherman Oaks, I'd already written this other script, a feature script called 50, and when we wrapped on Rob Roy, I was like, I want you to read something to Enrique, and so he read it, and he's like, okay, I get this.
I like this.
You're like,
And
he's almost making a face like he likes this better than Rob Roy.
I think he does.
I think I do.
I think he does, yeah. And I gotta be honest, I wrote 50 before I wrote Rob Roy, and I knew 50 was difficult, and I thought, no, I want to write something we can achieve, and so then I wrote Rob Roy. But 50 it's like a crime, like it's a comedy, it's a dark comedy. It involves kind of midlife choices when you get to be 50 years old, and and a guy who isn't living up to his expectations of himself, or he's kind of feeling his age, feeling his position in life changing dramatically, and what the measures he goes through to try to change that and become himself again, and it takes a turn because he makes some choices that have unexpected consequences, and it spirals out of control on him a little bit, all while not knowing why it's spiraling out of control. I think it's pretty funny and compelling. I really like it, and I'd love to be able to figure out a way to make it.
It's like one of the scripts that I was cracking up as I was reading it because I can see it. It's like one of those things like, oh, I see where the comedy is here. And also like there's a couple of tense moments that I feel like balances the script very well. So like it's not just like a goofball comedy where like everything.
Well, that's Ren's strength as a writer. Now we'll talk about You Like You're Not in the Room,
Okay.
which is I mean whether Ren's running comedy, there's always some dramatic depth to it.
Yeah.
I mean, the trade actually has dramatic depth to it, or writing something serious. Then there's some like it's always full-fledged, well-fleshed out writing that is not one-dimensional. It's always multi-dimensional,
Yeah,
which especially with a feature, you've got to you can have a one-note short. Please don't let it be 23 minutes. If you're one note, try to have it under 10, maybe even 6. But you can get away with one note. But when you're writing a feature, a story's got to be complex and interesting and pull your audience in. And keep
and if
them
it's
there.
not changing gears, I mean, we were talking about a film that we both watched this summer, and I'm not going to mention the film, but I felt like it never changed gears. Like emotionally, you were kind of in the same place. Like it was heightened tension throughout it, but you never changed. The feeling you had as a viewer didn't really go anywhere. And so for me, it's I love that you're traveling in this direction and you drop off a cliff, or you're traveling in that direction and suddenly you're 3,000 feet in the air and you don't know how you got there, but now you got this problem to solve. So sometimes when people are reading scripts like that, they don't follow it, and that's cool. Like I might miss it too, but I think Enrique gets my sense of humor to such the degree that
I also think that the characters are very clear, and they're like very distinct. I've read some other scripts where like I'm always reading back, be like, who was this person again? And like, what is this character supposed to do?
Yeah, some
like,
people write with all the same voice, like Woody Allen disease.
But it's true. Like, and it's so hard to read those scripts because I have to give them like 3 or 4 readings, and then I get to the point that I have to like meet with the writer and ask so many questions just to be sure that I got the whole story of the script, and then I turn out like, oh, I was way wrong. And to me, those scripts is like something that like I feel like it will be more of a challenge to just for me to be able to tell the story because I don't get it, than something like 50 that is like something that like from the first moment I was like, oh, okay, I see where this is going. Like I understand the characters and the characters' mentality. Like why is this guy thinking this? Why he wants to do this thing? Why everything is going wrong? And then the comedy aspect of it and the things that are happening in the surrounding, like in that world, everything just fits into place. So it makes it like a very compelling. And it's actually not the most complex movie. It's not super like there's not that many moving pieces.
Right, you don't need a film school class to understand it.
Exactly. But it's
Mammoth.
But I think it's like
talk about one voice.
Yeah.
Or no, what's his name is worse?
Sorkin.
One voice, every movie.
Yeah.
What can I say?
He's.
I'm not saying he's a bad writer.
No, not at all. He's
Great
incredible.
plots.
Plots and twists but
you're locked in for an earnest speech.
Yeah, you're getting one of
every
those for
scene.
sure. I feel like I try to change cadence for everyone that I write, and I write, phonetically sometimes for it's kind of the way I talk, I guess. But it's just if you don't change the pace of your people, then it becomes mechanical, and I don't want to do that.
Well, there's nothing lazier than a screenwriter just assuming, actors will breathe life into these parts. It's like, no, if there's not a person, a human being jumping off the page, the actor's got nothing to work with.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on bad writers.
No, I think this script is very solid. So this is something that we want to start getting off the ground, trying to get it produced.
Oh, 50 is for his age, I guess.
Like it's spelled. It's not the number. It's not a 5 and an O. It's the word. Like that's the way we've been doing. Like spell it out, and it's so it's fun, man. I don't want to give anything away because
don't give it away.
But it's a fun ride. Like I loved when I was kind of growing up and stuff. Movies like what's it called? Eddie Murphy,
Trading Places.
48 Hours.
48 Hours.
That movie to me was like incredible because the comedy was so funny, but the tension was. And like the gunshots in that movie, the sound guy must have loved that. But I loved that dynamic, like switching from that, there's a new sheriff in town to, like a shootout in the middle of the street in downtown LA. Like I loved that genre of film. So I tried to make 50 sound like that. In its dialogue and its characters and the tension is super tense. And I remember the first draft I wrote, the tension was so tense that my wife was like, "Are you okay?" Like I was like, "Yeah, I gotta dial this back a little bit, I think." And then it got, by the time it got to Enrique, I thought it was in a really good place, and he liked it, and we chatted through it, and we've created we did some talking about with the whole script, and we went through it line by line and took a couple things out. clarified a couple of things as well. So it made it better, and again, that collaboration is super important. And him understanding where I was coming from when I wrote certain things, and then he'd be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, no, like we can keep that, like that's great." And then, or maybe we should think about this or changing that, or can he say this here, and that kind of thing. So
we did the same exercise that we did with Rob Roy, and which is great because now for me personally, like it's a more clear story. Like now I know exactly where all the pieces are, who's what, how we need to like build it. That is not just like a script that I just read and be like, oh, I want to go and do this by myself. Like it doesn't become like it's not like a transfer of ownership at this point. It's more like, oh yeah, we're gonna be like doing this thing together. Like we'll build more out of this. Like we're gonna change it. Probably by the time we get to shoot it, we're gonna probably change a few little things here and there, just depending on like our budgets.
Budgets coming to mind, and then once you have a budget, then when you learn about some locations and you cast some people, then you there's always reasons to you gotta
tinker.
Well, if you don't, then
but the fact that we have
hurting yourself. I agree.
A real and clear idea of what the film is and like who these characters are and where the world they live. I think like once we get those little speed bumps when it comes to like budgets and locations and like what can we get and what we cannot, shifting around and moving things, it might be so easier because we already know what is the story that we want to tell.
So you're getting a Canadian passport?
Maybe.
Because might suit you well when I look at what's happening in the world.
Yeah.
But I was going to joke, by the way, before you all came over. I was thinking, hey, look at us. This is the most North American podcast possible. We got Guatemala, California, and Canada at a table together. That's, because for those who don't acknowledge it, Guatemala is part of North America, right? There's no such thing as Central America.
What are you talking about? I am Central America.
Well, but I've had Central Americans tell me everything from the Isthmus up is
my
north.
passport says Guatemala, Central America.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
I've been told
officially,
by
Guatemala, we're
geographers-
100%. In Guatemala, we 100% consider ourselves Central American.
Okay, excellent.
And
I would want to separate myself.
We
too.
also have a treaty between like the countries in Central America where like without the passport, even with your ID, you can just travel to any other countries and move around.
You've got your own. We had that.
Yeah, we used to. Yep.
We used to.
I remember coming across the border with my driver's license, and that was it.
Yeah, same. Yeah, it was literally like, no, we can just go to Canada, no problem.
Yeah, go get gas. It was like literally my parents lived close to the border in Niagara, Ontario, and my dad would just go over and get gas and then go home.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, well then we have Central.
We're a very
USA
diverse group, for sure.
There you go. Yeah. Which is excellent. Well, I certainly hope to see 50 someday.
Me too.
Because holy moly. And you guys have a lot of tools. You have a lot of, there's, between you just know a lot of people and you've got a lot of experience to like pull something like this off.
Yeah, it's cool. Like when you work with people your whole career doing whatever it is you're doing, and they want to help. So it's awesome. It just means that you did it right the last time you worked with them. If they want to jump back into the next project, and so
it means you're not an asshole.
Yeah,
and you really are not.
We have lots of people who are ready to go. We've got 2 producers.
You got a bar you got any bar scenes? Are there any bar scenes in 50?
No chance.
Oh, you wouldn't go back there, would you?
No chance. Like we've got
maybe the background is an Easter egg. We just put the driving in front of the park.
Yeah, we might drive by it, or we might, because there's a bank machine like jammed into the side of the actual building outside. So we might just do some scene with it, quickly grab something.
That'd be funny.
That would be a nice.
Basically an Easter egg, right?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Very cool.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we have already a nice group of people that are ready to join the team. It's just trying to we just need to be able to pull the rest of the resources so we can get it off the ground.
Yeah, lots of people want to do it. So, and some of the people haven't even read the script yet, but the keys, the key people, like, obviously us, and then a couple of producers and, a DP, and they're all like, let's go. So
Hopefully make it.
and make sure Lisa's good. She's ready to go. She's great. Yeah. So, and like hundreds of hours working with these cats on different projects, and both, our post team is like, we've got people standing by, want to work on our post, and it's cool. It's a cool feeling.
That's awesome.
It's
That's
just
excellent.
It's just, we gotta find some money.
It's
I have a couple composers that are like, oh, so when is the next project? Like, we want to start working on something new. And like, so there's people who are excited about this.
The birds are wanting to get involved.
yeah, we have baby birds on both sides.
That's awesome.
By the way.
Yeah.
Our DirecTV satellite dish has one nest.
Oh.
And there's a nest under that. Then we have a speaker over here with another nest. So whenever mom shows up, you hear the birds. Isn't that cute? I love
awesome.
that sound.
I love it. It's
They
great.
look like disgusting little dinosaurs. Every once in a while, I go up there with a chair and take a picture of them.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, I'm starting to, after 11 years in this house, I'm starting to leave them alone.
Yeah. Should get one of those like cameras, and then people.
I know.
People
I
will,
believe me.
pay,
I've thought about it.
Paid money to watch it
Thought about
online.
There's a freaking nature show in this,
Yeah.
in our
We
backyard.
can finance that.
I can do a pretty good David Attenborough.
Well, as long as we're on the bird subject now. All right. So before we wrap it up, because you both did the Discover Indie Film 4 questions on your individual podcasts last year,
You can
we're
listen
not
after
going to
this.
bother with all 4 over again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we kind of set this up. But I figured instead of naming 3 films you like, blah 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 blah, you want to name your favorite film that you saw last year, and or a favorite film you've seen. Maybe I'll not be a jerk and say it's Sherman Oaks Film Festival that you both have been to 2 years in a row. But any festival, like I could open it up. No, there's no other festival.
I'm sorry, other festivals?
There's no. I hear there's only 14,000 in the world
Oh,
according
wow.
to Film Freeway.
My goodness.
That's why us being in the top 100 feels good,
It's a
because
big
I'm
deal.
like, out of 14,000? But I figure 3,000 to 5,000 start and stop every year. So they're just throwing the 14 at us at any given time. But
Yeah.
but I think a lot of them, they do it once, they realize, oh, there's no money in this. I'm done.
Yeah. There's definitely, I've seen a couple that are like 2 years running and then they disappear.
Yeah.
Like,
And by the way, I think that also includes like the LA International and Film and Video Awards, which is just like a website and there's no event.
I've seen like
I
a
don't know
couple
that
of those. I had like a story with like Film Freeway where we submitted to this festival. I forgot what festival it was, but it was for Fervor. We submitted that film. We never got a notification. It passed the deadline. We like, whoa, what happened with this thing? And went to the website. The website doesn't even exist anymore. So we had to reach out to Film Freeway to be like, hey, can we get reimbursed for this? Because where's the festival? And then they just sent us the money back.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they're really strict. That's good. That's good that
Yeah.
they're strict. Like with our Lima extension this year, like they had all these rules for Lima as a first year festival.
Oh.
Yeah, we they held our money longer, all kinds of things, because they want to just make sure an actual event
legit,
happened.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there's too many con artists in this world.
Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, anyone want to name a favorite, your favorite film you've seen in the last year or so?
Like in general, like favorite film that I see.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Naked Gun.
The Naked Gun remake.
Awesome.
From this year
Liam Neeson?
because I feel like they don't make movies like this anymore. And then usually when they're trying to go back to that kind of comedy, they kind of go a little bit too over the board with it, and it becomes like saturated, and the jokes are a little like it's more about the joke than the story. And in this one, it felt like the classic Naked Gun, with like the characters are actually funny, the situations are great, the story itself is actually, oh, you have a great story here, and it does a lot of like honoring the classic one. So I think they did a great job with the film. Like I was laughing, and I followed the story, and then like I loved it.
It was funny.
I loved the film.
Yeah,
Man,
it was
I haven't. I got to see it.
I
I'm
like
gonna
the way
humble
Liam-
brag that as a kid, as a teenager in the San Fernando Valley in the 80s, I got to go to a Naked Gun 33 1/3 test screening.
Oh, nice.
And I was in the last row, and security was stopping this like middle-aged Jewish dude behind me, and I turn around, and the guy's saying to security, the guy's like, "What's your name?" He goes, "David Zucker." I directed this film, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's the guy who directed Airplane." And blah, blah, blah. I was like so excited to like be looking at him. And they were like, the security was trying to keep him out of the screening. Awesome. that's what being a teenager in LA is like.
Yeah.
All right, that's my Naked Gun mention. Ren's turn.
Yeah, I gotta say Hamnet.
Yeah.
I know, like I've said it a couple times today, but I was surprised at how much that movie stuck with me after I watched it. How much I thought about the performances, specifically Jesse. I forgot her last name. Buckley.
Buckley.
Is that it? Is that it?
So. Jesse Buckley.
I think so. Anyway, whatever. Everybody knows who she is. She was so good. And I never would have, if you'd asked me, like, "Hey, Ren, do you want to watch a Shakespeare movie?" I would have been like, "Ugh." And I probably was like, "Okay, here we go." And I just thought about it for days afterwards, and how sucked into it I got. So it was cool.
It is Buckley, and I'll add that I'm not too surprised that it's great, because oddly enough, through this podcast, I've talked to a handful of people who went to NYU with Chloe Zhao, and they were like, "Don't judge her by that Frances McDormand Nomadland thing." They're like, she's amazing. Like, they're like, keep your eye on Chloe Zhao, like, because a lot of people, Nomadland was like a very frequent overrated on the foreground.
Oh, really?
I liked that movie. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
It was like a nice slice of life movie.
For sure. But should have been nominated for Best Picture. But either way, Hamnet.
Hamnet, I thought was great.
Yeah.
It was a lot of great films, but that would be the one that surprised me the most, I think.
Well, you've given me some hope. You both, now I want to see both of these films. That'd be a good double feature, huh?
Yeah, totally.
Shakespeare and Liam Neeson doing his Leslie Nielsen.
Well, that was the thing that I liked about the Naked Gun, the new, like the Liam Neeson version of Naked Gun, was that he didn't try to be Liam Neeson. He did Leslie. I'm getting my.
He didn't try to be Leslie
he was himself.
Yeah.
And that he was the character that he played in Taken. Essentially, you know, like he played it so straight that I think it worked well. So it was fun. It was funny.
It is a fun.
And Pam Anderson was fun too. It was fun.
I've heard nothing but good stuff about it, and Pam Anderson has everybody's moral support now because we've seen that Netflix documentary or whatever, and and she's just so smart and so interesting, and just totally admire her. And that's like the sweetest love story in the world now, right? She and Liam being together, like, yay.
Yep. After watching Pam
look
and
at me,
Tommy,
I'm all tabloidy and like I'm like I want to just like hold a little, you know. It's like it's hug worthy. Seeing those two fall in love.
Yeah, it's great.
Hopefully it lasts.
Yep.
Yeah. But the movie itself is like it's
funny.
It's very entertaining, and I think I hope that they keep making movies like that, because I think there's a hole in comedy right now where like there's not a lot, and the stuff that is coming out is not that great. So for me, like, we need more like movies like Naked Gun.
No, it's I say it too often. Like, it's hard for me to think of when I try to think of the last time there was a comedy at the theaters that everybody told me, "Oh, you got to go see it." It was like Bridesmaids, which was like 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a long time since there was a must-see comedy that like was tops of the box office, right?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, for sure.
I think so.
And that's nonsense. There should be a kick-ass comedy every summer that like everyone rushes out to see, right?
Yeah, like that's what made the 90s, the 80s, and so much fun.
Yeah. Shoot, the last comedy I really loved might have been Booksmart. There we go. I just pimped. Wasn't that Booksmart great?
Yeah, it was fun.
Booksmart is amazing. Yeah.
Great film.
It's
all right.
funny.
Well, the other question: do you want to do the favorite film festival film? Thing?
Yeah.
Does it have to be from last year or like?
It could be any.
Because I keep going to Big Brothers. That's another comedy, but
Big
I really
Brothers.
enjoy it. Yeah, it's a short film, and to me it was hilarious, but it also had a heart. So I really enjoyed that film.
I enjoyed the panel afterwards too.
He is very loud.
The comic, he was great. I thought the Big Brothers was really funny. I really enjoyed Don't Watch This from last year. That was your buddy's film.
Yeah, Danny's.
I thought it was really funny and just a smart.
So smart, so good, yeah. And Big Brother's had Eddie Pepitone, who I tried to hide it during the Q&A, but like I've been a fan of Eddie Pepitone's comedy for a long time. That guy's a genius comedian. And then to have him show up at Sherman Oaks Film Festival and just hand him a microphone and let him riff.
He went off,
I've been to a wedding with comedy people and once there's a live mic, there's going to be like an hour of toast. Like you could just whatever. It's ridiculous when comedians get a hold of a mic. They have no filter.
No,
that's another Q&A that is worth rewatching.
Yeah, totally.
It's very funny.
Yeah, Matt Mazzani, who sat at this table and did this podcast, just like great. Enrique did. Mm-hmm. And actually, your friend Daniel, he's going to come. Yeah. He keeps sending nice emails saying, I have to reschedule because I have work. And I'm like, don't worry about it.
He just had a baby. So he also, his schedule is like very, very limited. Yeah, he has
I support him being a good husband and staying home for 6 months.
Yeah, I think he has like 2 weeks since the baby was born.
Oh my goodness.
So it's very recent.
Wow,
so
brand new. Still got the wrapper on it.
Yeah. So
no wonder he rescheduled 2 weeks. No, literally, I think it was like a week or two ago he rescheduled one.
Yeah. So I think like it's right now with like work and travel and like all the stuff that they need to do. Like
Well, it's an excellent film. Very, very graceful of you to name it as one of your favorites.
Yeah, thanks. He bought me a Sherman Oaks T-shirt.
Oh, nice.
He bought me
I am too.
He did. Yeah. That means he had a good time.
Totally.
That's so cool. Did he get you the standard one or the one with the popcorn and the give a shit?
Yeah.
The give a shit.
Nice. I guess we'll bring that back. We'll just take the 10th anniversary language off it.
Perfect.
Because now it's our 11th.
There you go.
Go figure.
I didn't know that we were gonna take a picture at the beginning. I didn't know that we have images in the podcast. Otherwise, I would have brought the shirt. I wear that.
Oh no, I would have been embarrassed. No, not too on the nose, but I know it's kind of funny. My brother will wear his. He came to Film Invasion LA once with his son, and like they bought, or I gave him shirts, and he like when we go to dinner, sometimes he'll wear it, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think you need to do that.
Thank you, but
it's bad enough when my 85-year-old mother tells the server that, he runs a film festival, and all of a sudden I'm like, Mom, the odds of that person being an actor are so freaking high.
Yeah, totally.
you may not want to share this.
You just opened up a can of worms.
I'm like, all of a sudden they're gonna have. I'm like, look it up on Instagram. All right. All right, I should not complain about my mother while you both are here. All right. Anything else you want to mention, or should I do the little wrap up?
What else we have? I don't know. I mean, we can keep talking about stuff.
Yeah, you got to just keep talking. Well, we can keep talking after we stop recording. Hell, I'll tell you my juicy bits.
Do it.
Juicy bits.
Let's wrap it up.
Let's go wrap this up.
All right. Well, first of all, as we've done before, in the show notes will be clickable links to whatever y'all want. Heck, even if you start a 50 teaser page, whatever.
Already got one.
Yeah, already got one.
Yeah.
Excellent. So we'll do that.
Direct people to it.
Yep.
You want to direct people to it?
Sure.
Direct people to it.
Oh, you mean
put
like
a
right
seed
now?
and spark on it. Well, we'll make it a clickable link in the show notes. But yeah, I can kill some time.
I can't remember what.
It's also a very cute dog on his lock screen.
Oh,
I'm dog crazy. Every time I see a dog, I lose it.
Don't get me started about my dog. I miss my boy.
Understood. No, I'm petless now, so when you were here, we saw Chester. We lost Chester in January. What are you gonna do?
It happens.
Yeah, I've told my wife that it's her job to live at least one day longer than me because I'm not going to love anything that doesn't have a human lifespan anymore. I've done the pets, and I'm like, as long as you live one day longer, you can. Just let me go first.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm going first. And I'm like, no.
Yeah,
I'm older.
I'm toast.
I'm older. I'm older. I'm male. I'm going to go first.
I'm confident I'm going to go first. The 50 movie you can find at 50, the FIFTY -movie.com.
Where'd you think of that? No, excellent. That's very smart. This is the silliest thing I'm going to share, but when I learned like 20, 25 years ago, they announced that there'd be like suffixes besides .com and .edu and .org, and that you could create one. And I had a rich friend, and I was like, dude, we should start and own .movie. Because then every studio movie coming out, they'll pay you $200 for, Naked Gun .movie. And he was like, do your research and come back to me with a real plan. And I can't do a business plan, so the thing died there. But now .film is too expensive. I think they're like, so it's very good you did 50-movie.com.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm just trying to say I could have been rich if I had been rich in the first place, and I would have given you a deal on 50.movie.
Oh, thank you.
We missed on this deal.
What a connection, a festival runner being like, by the
Totally.
way, .movie is supporting this shit. All right, well, thank you, Enrique. Thank you, Ren. Thank you for being on the Discovery Indie Film podcast. If people want to learn more about it, go to discoveryindiefilm.com. On social media, it's always at DIFwins. If you go to discoveryindiefilm.org, that is the nonprofit that runs Sherman Oaks Film Festival and Filmvasion LA. I call them sister festivals. So just go to discoveryindiefilm.org to learn about both. They take you to the social media. That'll take you to the social media and websites for each one. And nested inside the Filmvasion LA website is the website for Filmvasion Lima. The Lima team and I decided, let's just keep it in-house. So now when you go to filmvasionla.com, it's built out for both festivals, because we actually had a wonderful festival in Lima. I gotta say, I didn't get down there. Maybe next year. It'll be Valentine's weekend next year.
Ooh, nice.
But I got to have coffee with somebody who did fly down, and she explained they just did a wonderful job down there. So thank you, Chevy and Pilar. Y'all did great.
Awesome.
Filmvasion Lima kicked ass, and always happy to. It's just really cool to spread to South America.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a
I
second.
agree 100%.
It's better than beat Filmvasion. Filmvasion Fresno would have been fun, but Lima's a little more fun. All right. Thank you both.
All right.
And thank you everyone for listening.
Chisme time.
What?
Chisme time.
know
Time for
what that
chisme. You don't know chisme?
No.
That's when you drop all the juicy stuff.
Oh,
Spill the tea.
yes.
We
All
call
right.
it
All
chisme.
right.
Chisme.
Oh, okay. Oh, that
Here we go.